This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It's Monday, November 28th.
Well, a suspect is wanted and a family is worried because a 13-year-old boy is unaccounted for. Police say that Ryan Sanders Jr. has been seen with his dad since the crime that occurred on November 22nd involving attempted murder, kidnapping, and rape of an elderly female and his father, Ryan Sanders Sr. Witnesses say that the boy is unharmed. Deputies are hot on the trail of Ryan Sanders Sr. and hope to put him behind bars and Ryan Sanders Jr. in safe hands. His mom and grandmother in North Carolina are worried about his safety. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in finding that person who they say terrorized a Pahrump woman. Police are attempting to locate 37-year-old Ryan Sanders, who's wanted in connection with an attempted murder and kidnapping that occurred last week on Enchanted Mesa here in Pahrump. On 11/22, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies learned that a 74-year-old female had allegedly been kidnapped and sexually assaulted. The details of the crime are horrific. The suspect, they say, Ryan Sanders, entered the victim's home while she was asleep and duct taped her, tied her up, and then allegedly raped and kidnapped the female. He also burglarized her residence. The female was subjected to repeated brutal attacks, according to police. The victim was then forced into the back of her white 2018 Honda Civic and driven to the area of Desert View Hospital on Lola Lane, where they picked up another person by the name of Richard Duncan. The victim was then driven to a vacant lot to an abandoned RV on the 3000 block of Malibu here in Pahrump and beaten with a fence post, raped again, and her orbital bone was broken. She sustained substantial bodily harm, according to Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies. The victim lost consciousness and was left for dead. Hours later, the victim, they say, awoke, fled to a nearby residence, and Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were then contacted. She was then transported to UMC Trauma Center. At some point, the suspects returned to her residence and took a vehicle described as a grayish-blue 2008 Chrysler 300. This vehicle was then later located on Winsong Lane. Alexander Gordon has been arrested in connection with being in possession of that vehicle. It was found under a tarp by police. Police have went to that residence several times to look for Ryan Sanders to no avail. They say Sanders fled on foot. Richard Duncan and both vehicles have been located. Duncan is facing charges of kidnapping in the first degree, attempted sexual assault with substantial bodily harm, abuse of an older or vulnerable person, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, and attempted murder. Sanders is believed to be with his 13-year-old son. A private citizen has now put forward a $5,000 reward for information leading to his capture. If you have any information, you can contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. You can remain anonymous.
And a pontoon boat was destroyed on the highway. Thankfully, no major injuries to the occupants of the vehicles. However, a K-9 did sustain some injuries as a result of a broken windshield.
On Saturday night, a two-vehicle crash occurred involving two pickup trucks on Highway 160 and Betty Avenue. One truck was towing a pontoon boat. All occupants declined to be medically transported at the time of the crash. One dog, however, inside a pickup truck sustained injury as a result of this crash and was being attended to at the time. Nevada Highway Patrol, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and auxiliary units responded to the scene along with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. The road was closed in all directions during the investigation and cleanup. And an officer involved in a collision is being investigated by Nevada Highway Patrol. The Nye County Sheriff's Office cruiser was one of three vehicles involved in Saturday morning's crash. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of a 3-vehicle crash that occurred on Saturday morning involving a Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy cruiser. The crash occurred on Highway 160 and Basin Avenue involving a small SUV, a pickup truck, and a Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy vehicle. Traffic was diverted around the crash on Basin Avenue during the investigation and cleanup of the scene. One person was transported by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital.
A pedestrian was in critical condition after being struck by a vehicle Thursday night on the highway.
On Thanksgiving night, a pedestrian was airlifted via Mercy Air after being struck by a vehicle on Highway 160 in front of Starbucks. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, Nevada Highway Patrol, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. The pedestrian was said to be in serious to critical condition. He was bleeding from the head. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of this crash. Traffic was diverted around the scene while the investigation was conducted. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue transported the patient to Base 21 on Calvada, where the patient was subsequently airlifted to a trauma center in Las Vegas. No one inside the vehicle claimed any injury at the time of the crash. And everyone escaped injury this afternoon when a vehicle crashed into the front of a business just off the highway. A vehicle versus structure crash occurred this afternoon on Highway 372 at Pahrump Care Pharmacy. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies. The front glass and door to the pharmacy have been destroyed. Fire crews helped with the cleanup of the scene. The pharmacy is currently open. No injuries to the driver or anyone inside the pharmacy were reported at the time of the crash.
And fire crews were notified and arrived early enough to contain a chimney fire that occurred over the weekend on Dyer Road.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a structure fire on Dyer Road on Friday night. The reporting party called emergency crews to report that it appeared that a chimney on the manufactured structure had caught fire. No one was inside at the time of the blaze. However, nearby structures appeared to be attached to the home, and there was residents inside those homes at the time. At least 2 animals were removed from those homes, and the homeowner arrived on scene a short time later. He was able to take out 1 dog from his home. Fire Chief Scott Lewis says that this was a room and contents fire, and that it appeared to have started from the chimney area of the manufactured dwelling. No injuries were reported. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is investigating the cause of the blaze. All right, well, we have some holiday updates over the weekend that occurred right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920. Also brought to you by Battleborn Financial. Investing and health insurance made easy. Off Pahrump Valley in Calvada.
Welcome back. Nye Communities Coalition was filled with smiles, music, dance, and tasty food on Thanksgiving Day. Linda Wright updates us on this year's community dinner by the Holiday Task Force.
I've been doing it for over 10 years also.
Yeah? And so why do you do this every year?
To give back to the community and give back to my veterans for all they've done. We've been serving a lot of veterans this year. Our Holiday Task Force has been busy for 2 days preparing for this event, and we've been in the background for 2 months preparing for it, getting ready. And then our volunteers came in yesterday and today to help us prep and get ready for this event. We had a lot of people when we first opened the doors, and then since then it's been steady. It started off as a homeless event, and we've changed it to an all-community event.
What's on the menu?
We have turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, sweet potatoes, rolls, mixed vegetables, and dessert. This is all donated from the community, and that's how we roll.
Volunteers can get involved with the Christmas dinner, right? How can they do that?
They can do it by emailing the task force at prumholidaytaskforce@gmail.com, or they can call me at 775-419-7857. And we are looking for new committee members, so please call me. The Christmas is on December 24th, Christmas Eve. It'll be here at the Nye Communities Coalition, 1020 East Wilson, and it's from 11 to 2, same as this. Santa will be here as always, and we have some surprises. And we will have a coat room. We will have coats and blankets and scarves.
So I just came back from New York around June, and I miss Pahrump. Everybody's so friendly here. Go to New York and try to make friends. It's not easy because they all got their groups, you know. But the good news is I turned 80 years old 2 weeks ago, November 7th, and I feel just as good as ever.
Happy birthday.
And I'm going to be in the Christmas show with the Tappers. One song.
Wow, fantastic. You are performing here, and of course we get to have you here at the wonderful Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, well, I did 2 change of outfits, the gold lame, and then my $3,400 jumpsuit that I bought. It weighs 80 pounds. And when I did Suspicious Minds, I said, I'm getting too old for this. But it was fun, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. We're playing music now, we're just DJing.
We've been attending the Coalition New Holiday Task Force Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner for the past 10 years. This is important. This is where the community gets to come together. We get to give back, and I'll be frank with you, it's good to give. Short story about me. In this country, you know, because I'm firstborn here, we got me, my brother, my mom, my dad, and the dog. So we don't have the cousins, the nephews, and the aunts, the uncles. We don't have that extended family. So this is, for me, very much it's like bringing everybody, because you see them once a year, we get together, we have a great meal, but it's more than that. It's even more than that. It's the whole community comes together. You get to see everybody, all walks of life, okay? And there's no judgments. We're here for people.
And K9 Radio's Karen Jackson, Santa, along with Mrs. Claus and the Pahrump Nugget, hosted a wonderful event Friday night, once again, the annual community Christmas tree lighting. Jackson tells us about the history of the event.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, for me, it's 11 years. Because we started over at Saddle West with the live tree for 4 years. And then we moved over here when I got the artificial tree. So it's for the Nugget, it's 9 years. But for me, at KNYE Radio, this is 11 years. That's our Santa and Mrs. Claus. Santa comes every year, and he stops and sees Fire Chief Scott Lewis, and he says, oh, you need a red sleigh. And he brings them in every year. We have got this down to a science. They store the tree in a big container, and the Monday before Thanksgiving, Valley Electric comes over with their bucket trucks, and they put it up, and they decorate the top. And then the Nugget people come and decorate the rest, and then they get together with the lighting and all of that. So it's just everybody knows what they're supposed to do. I was going to reach out to the community because we've lost a lot of ornaments with the wind or breakage or whatever. So if you have ornaments that you want to come put on the tree, please do. And you know, all through the season, when I drive by, there is always someone out here with their family taking pictures and whatever. And it just makes me so happy. Yes, that's our community choir. And next year, I will make sure they have a microphone. This was kind of a last minute thing, but next year they will have a microphone. And you know, even though we've been doing it all these years, we learn something every year. Hot cocoa, coffee, cookies, that's all provided by the Nugget. I'm just so glad we had such a good turnout. But I think it's because the people, we are tired of being locked down. You know, last year we only had maybe 200 people, but we had a lot more this year. Even when it was absolutely freezing, the people came out. 11 years ago, when I drove through town, there were people that had their homes decorated, but when I drove through town, it was like, where's Christmas?
Yeah.
So I got this wild hair, and I had no idea it would just become a tradition. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and come out and enjoy the tree. Take pictures.
Nice tree. I love it. We have the holidays kicking off.
Well, we're going to have your health right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, now that Thanksgiving is over, many people are starting to pull out their holiday decorations. But before you climb on the roof to hang those lights or set up your Christmas tree, there are some safety tips to keep in mind.
You want to be careful when you're on step stools or ladders. If you're, hanging lights, whether it's inside or out, anytime you're up on a ladder, there's always a risk that you could fall.
Dr. Thomas Waters is an emergency medicine physician for Cleveland Clinic. He says they typically see injuries related to falls with lots of bumps, bruises, and strains, along with lacerations, cuts, and occasional broken bones. Electrical injuries are reported as well, which is why homeowners need to be careful with wiring. Dr. Waters says be sure to closely examine your extension cords and outlets too, so they're not overloaded. It's also a good idea to check your Christmas lights for any fraying or broken bulbs. And when it comes to putting decorations on your roof, Dr. Waters says it's best to leave that to the professionals.
Anytime you're up high on a ladder, especially in the winter when the weather conditions aren't so great, you're really putting yourself at risk for a significant fall. My recommendation is leave the high gutters and the peaks to the professionals.
And Dr. Water adds, if you do get hurt while decorating, it's best to use your own judgment on whether it's an emergency. However, he says, don't hesitate to go to the hospital for any major lacerations or broken bones. Never Forgotten Animal Society Never Forgotten has a cute dog up for adoption named Simba, who wants to cuddle up for the holidays in a forever home.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, this is Pat with Never Forgotten Animal Society, and I'd like to introduce you to Simba. Simba is a 10-year-old poodle, maybe weighs 7-8 pounds. He is an older gentleman. He's about 10 years old, and he does have a 4th stage heart murmur. He does have bad teeth, but he is a very sweet, loving little man. As you can see, he just loves to be held and cuddled. And you're welcome to come see him anytime. He is available here at Never Forgotten Animal Society. We're at 520 East Street, Suite C as in Charlie, in Pahrump, right behind Wells Fargo Bank. Our phone number is 775-537-8674. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 in the morning until 5 p.m. every night. You're more than welcome to come in. No appointment is necessary. Our adoption fees are $250, and that includes, for older dogs, that includes their spay, neuter, microchip, all of their vaccinations, and their rabies certificate. So if you're interested in one of our animals, please stop by at any time and come visit them. They need the love, they need the comfort, and they need to be held. So come on in at your leisure.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
See all that beautiful sunset happening right now.
And we do. It's perfect weather. And John's going to give us a full weather update for your upcoming week just after this.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Great to be here on a Monday after a nice long weekend. Boy, did I enjoy it. Stretched that out to the last bitter minute. It was wonderful. Great to be back, though, on a Monday. And Fernley and Fallon celebrating with being weather twins, 53 degrees up north. Carson City, the cool spot at 48. Tonopah chasing at 49, almost chasing it is Goldfield at 50. And Beatty, forget about the race. It's 56 degrees out there. 59 in Amarillo, so we got Las Vegas at the hot spot with 60 degrees. And out in Death Valley, not too bad, 71 degrees. Currently here in the Paradise Prump, it's 54 degrees, and we down a little bit from our high earlier, 61 degrees. Sun rose this morning at 6:33 in all its glory, hope and promise of a new day, which all extinguished at 4:29 this evening. We missed the sun already. Heading down to a low of 33 degrees under clear skies tonight. Those clouds blowing out pretty good. Humidity at 50%. Does that smell like clouds tomorrow? No. Actually, next couple of days is going to be pretty nice weather for, the fall, 57, 60 degrees on Wednesday. Look at Thursday. Winds starting to kick up 15 miles per hour and bringing it with some rain clouds on Friday and Sunday. Good chance of rain over the weekend and the wind kicking up a little bit. Temperatures kicking down. We finish out the week under clear skies on Monday with 51 degrees. Should be not too bad, but for this weekend, might want a sweatshirt, might want to keep it close, all right? Make your plans. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Good night.
All right. That does it for us tonight. I'm Stacy Jensen.
Good night.